Those of you who haven't seen me before, my name is Chris. I am the Conversion Crusader. Well, you can't see my logo. What's that? There we go. I'm the I'm over that way. Conversion Crusader and head of education over at the Freedom Club, which is a great place where you can learn how to do dropshipping. Now, everyone here is regular student, so I don't need to explain what that is or why we should be doing that, but I would like to invite you. Check out the Freedom Club if you want. Hello, Michaela. Hello, Max. Welcome to the stream. Diane, hello. Welcome. I was just talking about you, Diane, in my previous stream. I don't know if you heard. All nice things, of course. Jennifer, welcome. Rhonda, welcome. You didn't? I was just telling people to have faith and don't talk badly to yourself that you can't do things. It wasn't about sooking at all. Self-belief and self-doubt. The two biggest killers of e-commerce. Seriously, guys, everyone that I've talked to, your sales came back after my advice yesterday. That's awesome. For those of you who want to be filled in, Diane had a sales slump and she was panicking. And in the back of her mind, I hope you don't mind me saying these things, Diane. This is actually good information for everybody. In the back of her mind, the old voice came back for her of all her past failures, her previous stores, how they did well for a couple of days and then they sucked. And this was just going to all happen again. And I was like, Diane, it's a different product. It's a different store. It's not going to repeat the same things that happened before. That's a different story. That's a different you. What I need you to do, Diane, is just stop and slow down for a second and pick up your phone. Use your website on your phone with a fresh mindset. What we're looking for is reasons why people aren't completing their purchases. She had good add to carts. She had good checkouts, but they weren't completing their purchases. So when I went on my phone and had a look, I was like, Diane, you have 3 things here that would stop me from buying. Bang, 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 bang. Maybe it was 4 things. I can't remember. But if you're stuck in that mental mindset that this is just going to fail like all the other times, this sucks, I can't do this, I'm awful. And don't think, Diane, for a second that I haven't said those things to myself. I was just quite lucky that I have a wonderful partner. And she was able to pick me up when I was at my lowest and remind me that I'm awesome. Remind me that I'm very clever and that I fix things and that I always make things work. And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. And it fixes my mindset from being a broken human being to going and fixing a broken website. Because if you have good Facebook ads and you're getting good clicks and your CTR is above 1.5%, it means you have buyer intent. If you have a good add to cart rate above 5%, your problem isn't your ads. There's no amount of tweaking that will fix your ads. There's no amount of tweaking. If you have good clicks and a good CPM and a good cost per click, it ain't your ads. There's something wrong with your website. And all you have to do is shut the mind off from telling you all this other bullshit and focus on the problem. Why are people not checking out? So you pick up your phone. Your hubby does the same thing 18 months and pushing still. Yeah, sometimes it takes that. Sometimes people get lucky. We have students on their first product, on their first store, bang, I'm making 20 grand a month, making 50 grand a month. 3rd month, I'm making 80 grand a month. But that's cool until it stops working. The rest of us, things are a bit trickier. Is that better? Wasn't centered. For the rest of us, things are a bit trickier. And trickier is okay. Because if it's harder when we first launch, we get better at the things that are difficult, because the people who have it easy, all of a sudden when things get more difficult, which it does for everybody, no one has an easy, smooth sailing ride in e-commerce. When things get hard and it's your first time, things got difficult and it's 3 or 4 months in, you're like, damn, how do I get myself out of this? But for the rest of us who've had a hard time getting to that point, we're like, we got this. We know what happens when our sales dip. We know what to do. We know how to problem solve. We've been through this a million times. So Diane, whenever the sales dip, I want you to, and for anybody else, just have it in the back of your mind. Chris says, just calm down and pick up your phone and try to do a sale. And actually, you can go a step further. To be completely frank with you, what I normally do when things are looking really bad on Homecraftology, and you know what, they do sometimes. Sometimes I make a change in my website, and I don't think to jot it down. Sometimes it's just a simple change, and I don't test it on phones, and I just make a change. My sales slowly start to go down until the point, like, you don't notice it straight away. When you make a mistake on your website, there's people in your buying cycle who don't give a rat's hoot about the changes. They're ready to buy. They've been ready to buy. They've just been waiting for Thursday to get paid, or a good deal will come out via email. So you send out your email, or Thursday comes along, or whatever, and they make a purchase. But there's new people in the buying zone who are seeing your ads for the first time, and because there's a problem with your website, they're not going to purchase. So you have this kind of thing where you make a mistake to your website, things just don't go boom. Things go mana, and then they start slowly going down. And you're like, why? Was it the change you did yesterday? Was it the change you did before that? Quite often it's a change you did 3 changes ago that you didn't realize. Maybe there's a pop-up popping up that you didn't realize. Maybe there's something blocking the add to cart button. Maybe there's something blocking the checkout button. Maybe it's the upsell you put on. All these different things that it could be that's upsetting the buyer while they're trying to figure out if they want your product. And you didn't realize it. So what you should do, let me tell you exactly what I do. My exact process when my sales stop, when your sales stop, when someone messaged me out of the blue saying emergency, or even when someone goes onto my what's it called, my Upwork, and just buys a session with me, the first thing that I do, I find one of their ads on my phone, and I pick up my phone, find their ads on Facebook. Sometimes they won't pop up on my feed, so I have to go into the Facebook ad library, find their ads from my phone, and I find the exact thing. So I like to start from here so that you see the ad on Facebook and you click shop now. The reason why I prefer that is because if I just go to the website in Chrome, that's not exactly the same as going to the website inside Facebook or Instagram, because Facebook and Instagram, they have a little, like a window inside the app that your website loads up into, and it can load up into it differently depending on the viewport, which is the size of your actual canvas on your website. So sometimes you make a change and you don't realize the impact that it has because you're looking at your phone through Chrome, but you're not looking at your phone through the Facebook browser, and you're not seeing the exact same thing that your customers see. So I like to first make sure I'm going to see the exact same thing that my customers see. And I have a phone here. This is an S23, and I have an old, S21 or something in my drawer. I have a really basic Samsung phone somewhere else over here. So I'll load up my Facebook on all 3 phones, and I'll check them on all 3 phones because they're different screen sizes and different experiences. My website, for example, Homecraft, did this thing where it was going down and down and down and down and down. And I couldn't figure out why. But when I loaded it up on an older phone, I realized the changes that I'd made to my code, because I was, being a software developer, I like my websites look fancy. I added some code to make my cart button shine, and it looked sweet. But the code that I wrote made my website slow down to a halt when you were trying to use it on an old phone. So I had to get rid of that. I figured out a way to do it eventually. But that experience stopped buyers from buying, obviously, because it was just an atrocious user experience. Anyway, pick up my phone, I find my ad, I click it in my browser, and I try to pretend I've never seen this website before. I got no idea about this product, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to trust these guys with my money. And so I go through the buying cycle. I enter my email. I make sure that everything is working as expected. Did I get an email back saying, here's your checkout? Sorry, here's your what do you call it? Coupon. Does the coupon work? Does it make sense? Do I even want the coupon? Did a pop-up happen when I tried to check out? Does the checkout button even work? Does the product page actually look good on a mobile phone? Does it everything scroll properly? Can I actually use the images? Does it all make sense? And all these things that I'm testing in my head on my phone through the whole process. And you will find so many problems with your website if you're just trying to think. And just remember, our parents have to be able to see the ad on Facebook, click on it, and make their way through your website and purchase for you to make money. And I don't know about you, but if I'm thinking about my parents using my website, I gotta make this really simple. Hate to say the word because I love your mum and I love your dad, but I gotta dumb it down a bit because they got older phones. They're not tech savvy and they're very, very careful about the websites that they put their credit cards into. So just think about that next time you're wondering why people aren't purchasing from you. Think, would your parents purchase from you if they didn't know it was your store? Would the dumbest person that you know figure out your website and purchase from you? Because 50% of this country is dumber than that person. Now I'm advertising to the US, so I've got to cater to a lot of different people. All right. That's enough of me waffling on. Michaela, think about getting a professional photographer to take images of your products. Do I recommend any recommendations for photographers? To be honest with you, no. I got no recommendations whatsoever because I couldn't find a good photographer. And that's why I got this camera up here and I invested in myself. And I had no idea what to do. I went out, I bought a good digital mirrorless SLR. Is that what you call them? And I learned, I watched YouTube videos and I learned how to use this bad boy. I got myself these awesome lights over here that light up my studio. Well, they go with me when I'm doing a product shoot. I like to know how to do everything. Every part of my business, I need to know how to do. I don't need to be the best at it. I just need to know how to do it. So that when I do go and find a good photographer, and I do want to work with someone professional, I can tell them what I want, and I can know when I'm getting scammed. All right, so growth masterclass. No, we're not doing that. We're doing. What is this event? This is the growth. Yeah, it is growth masterclass. What am I talking about? Okay, Renee. My Pause. Okay, we're doing an ad review for My Pause. One sec. I'll give you guys access to share my screen in just a second. Max, that was motivational. Cheers, mate. I had my moments. I did mention in my last stream, if you rock up to the masterclass, you will get a golden nugget. One at least one's guaranteed per stream. All right, this is 30 days of My Pause. They're at $70 a day total. So we're just kind of not scaling very much, just kind of sitting here, plateauing at $70 a day. Your middle of funnel at Paul Trimmer at $32 a purchase. Not bad. Not bad. You might be able to get this down to maybe 25, maybe if you're lucky. $30 to $40 per purchase is a pretty standard purchase price from my perspective for most products. I think we're going to have to, oh, sorry, I should be sharing my screen. Sorry, guys, one sec. I think we're about to have one of those motivational speeches. Another one. I think there's one brewing right now because I think I know where this is heading. If $32 per purchase is roughly what I think is maybe the closest or the best that we can get, which is probably the same for a lot of your products, maybe even more expensive for some of them. We can see here the ROAS at 1.7 and 1.65. I know Renee's question will be, we're making money, but we're not making much profit, if at all. Now, we're not really even able to scale this very much, right? Because we're spending $60 a day. Facebook wants us to spend more. And I do agree, you should probably be spending more because this looks somewhat scalable. But as you scale this and as you put more money into the budget, your cost per purchase is probably likely to continue rising. And how then are we going to make profit off this? Okay, we're going to sort these by amount spent. Conquer, it sounds intuitive to make money online, but there's so many gurus out there, or at least it looks that way. It's hard to know where even to start. I don't consider myself a guru, but I do pay to be part of clubs and masterminds of people that I know make even more than I do. But I don't trust gurus, okay? I don't trust them at all. Absolutely don't trust them. Because I've spent a lot of money on guru courses that were just wastes of time. You've asked about sustainability because you're skeptical about the kind of typical marketing pitch, making money online. Oh, dude, look, let me put all of your, what am I called? Home craftology. Let me put your entire skepticism at ease here, my friend. Okay, so I had a bad day today. Only 800 US, but my conversion rate's improved. To be honest, I've scaled back since it's 1st of July. I scaled back my ad spending this week a little bit. But if I show you what we make in a month, so June, had a very low month in this June, 44,000 US dollars, about 60, 70,000 dollars Australian. That's pretty low. Normally I am 70 to 100,000 dollars. Usually, in the last 12 months, we were usually clearing about $1 million on Facebook, but this year a little bit lower, probably 800,000 on Facebook for this year. If I go back to previous 12 months, so let's go back to last year. Yeah, around about $1 million Australian last year. So we're only a little bit less. I do feel like crafts in general, I feel like the interest is sort of dipping in crafts, which is why I'm looking to offload this store eventually and move into some better niches. But that's about $1 million Australian in revenue, which is about $300,000 in profit just from this one store alone. And this isn't just a one-off thing. I could show you 2023, which will be even better because 2023 was a pretty good year. Yeah, so that's about 1.2 million Australian roughly in revenue. Now, given that 1/3 is profit, it's pretty good. 2022, I think I was recovering in 2022 from a bad 2021. Still made 1,200 to 1.2 million in sales, or 1.3 maybe Australian. 2021, I think this is when the shit hit the fan. This was the bad year. Oh, we still did 2 million in sales. So 2021 was a bad year. I'd love to get back to here. I'd love to get back to that. 2020. $3 million US dollars. I don't think I'm ever going to see that again. That was a crazy, crazy year. If we could just invent another global pandemic, maybe I should keep my store until that happens. Before the pandemic, 2019. Now, if you're wondering, why was there such a decline? This is before the pandemic, 1.7. That's what I need. That's what I should be able to get back to theoretically. But I feel like crafts peaked at the pandemic, and I feel like once the pandemic was over, if we look in exploding topics and we look at things like diamond painting and paint by numbers, there's been a steady decline in those types of products because people are going outside, and there's a lot more entertainment around these days too. And probably a lot more crafts available, maybe. Now, whether or not I can get it back to that, I'm not sure. But it has been pretty steady this past couple of years at around about the $1 million Australian mark. So it's been pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. But to answer your question, Conqueror, I need you to stop this thinking about drop shipping. Is drop shipping legitimate? Drop shipping. Drop shipping isn't actually a thing, my friend. Drop shipping is just the method of shipping a product to a customer. I could quite easily turn this store from being a drop shipping store to being a regular store just by sending my products to a 3PL provider, 3PL being a shipping provider. And all of a sudden, this isn't a drop shipping business. Still the exact same business model. I'm still selling things to clients, Drop shipping just means, where do I sell it from? Do I sell it directly from my manufacturer, or do I sell it from my own warehouse that I have to pay for? And those are the only things that you need to worry about. So it's not is drop shipping legitimate? It's, is e-commerce legitimate? And if you're asking yourself, is e-commerce legitimate? You need to pull your head out of the sand, because yes, of course e-commerce is legitimate. You literally use e-commerce every day of your life. If you've used Amazon, eBay, if you're buying off online stores, if you're buying computer parts or whatever your wife decides to doom scroll at night and purchase, and you rocks up on your door the next day, you're in the system, you're doing e-commerce. Of course it's legitimate. Whether or not someone teaches you the right methods to do it, well, that remains to be seen. Because there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn. It just so happens I've been doing this for like 10 years nearly. So even me at 10 years, I'm still learning stuff every day. It's important to be humble and realize no matter how much you learn about e-commerce, there will always be more things to learn. And I'm hungry for learning. All right. Hope that answers your question. Now, back to my pause. What I'm doing here is I'm organizing the creators by spend, just to see if there's any that can be shut off. Maybe C24 could be shut off and you could have saved $64 there. Maybe. Let's have a look in performance and clicks. But that's even saving $64 isn't going to have a huge impact on the cost per conversion, but it does have the highest cost per click here. So it's probably first on my chopping block to maybe sacrifice to the lords of ecom. I think if this was my store, and this is where the rant, well, it won't be a rant, but this is where we're going to have another discussion about what we do here. Okay, so this is costing $36 a purchase. And for a lot of you, this won't be anything new that you're about to learn, but I hope that you're going to take it a lot more seriously. So we'll look at the paw trimmer. So the price of this isn't going to get us anywhere. This probably costs about 20 bucks to fulfill. I'm guessing maybe 25, 30 bucks to fulfill. Facebook's charging us $33. So there is absolutely no profit in there for you right now. Your landing page is good. Your ads are good. There's nothing wrong with your ads. There's nothing hugely... Oh, please get rid of this ChatGPT stuff. Guys, a lot of people are looking at this and seeing this and going, you know what? I don't like AI. I'm just going to stop this, like close this page down. And these crappy, I don't know what you call these. Someone with some good grammar skills, tell me what they're called. But they are a dead giveaway that you've literally copy and pasted from ChatGPT. And it's only a small number of people who are put off by it, but they're still put off by it. Other than that, this page is pretty good. Could it be improved? Yes, always. Don't think for a second that I'm not improving Homecraftology every week. I'll show you a change that I just made in a second. But at $64.90, we're not making any profit. We can't run this as a business if we're not making profit. We have to be able to make a profit. Is there anyone else selling this paw trimmer for more than $64? Could you sell this? Could you get away with $79? Could you get away with $89 for this? That's something you probably want to test to see if you can make enough money to actually make profit. It may increase your cost per purchase by, $5 to $10, but is that the difference there between profitability and not profitability? Maybe. Let's have a look here. Now we're going to add to cart. So far, I've seen no checkouts. I've seen no pop-ups. Now, this is good. Okay, so we have a bundle here. This is where you make your profit. They're called M dashes, are they? Get rid of your M dashes. They must be murdered. Now, I don't love the way this bundle is popping up because I don't like putting it on the checkout button. You can actually put the bundle on the add to cart button inside one-click upsell. And what you have to be looking at, how many people upgrade to the grooming kit? Because this is where the profit lies. Profit doesn't lie in the first thing. The profit lies in the upsells. Because cost per purchase is never, ever, ever going to go down. Ever. The more people jump onto e-commerce, The more people who make ads, the more our CPMs on average, our cost per mile, our price of petrol, if you will, our price of gas if you're American, it goes up because more and more people want to enter the system and add their ads into the system, and then the bidding on the ads goes up. You could get clever with your creatives, and you could maybe hire a really amazing content creator to make you some really good ads and maybe get your cost per purchase down a little bit, but that's only going to be temporary, and your cost per purchase will from there, maybe it starts at $20 and maybe then it will start to go up. It's inevitable that the cost per purchase will go up. So what you need is a strategy to take your average order volume from $64 in this case to $146. That's fantastic. If you can get this to work, great. Now, if you're at this point where you're putting this pop-up up and a large number of people are taking this offer, fantastic. Don't change anything. You're going to do great, and you're going to make some profit. And this is where it is. If you're finding that you put a bundle on the checkout button and your conversion rate goes down, well, that's one of the reasons why I don't do this. I never want to put, personally, in my personal opinion, I never want to put anything on the checkout button that stops somebody from checking out. I want to seal that sale, because this could be enough of a distraction that somebody just closes down this window and doesn't make the purchase. So what I prefer to do, and what I have on Home Craftology, I go to one of my products. Now, I've only just started to add this particular bundle in. You can see some of the things that I've done on Homecraft lately. I've simplified my landing page significantly. I've actually created a visual representation here of what the beads look like, because that will help people make a decision. I've just tried to simplify what I'm doing so that it's very clear to first-time users what this is and how this works. So if I now go to my add to cart button, I get this offer, a bundle offer on the add to cart button. And that's just one setting inside, what's the app called? One click upsell. Instead of having it on the checkout button, you just move it to the product page. And all of a sudden you have a pop-up on the cart where they can decide. Now, I've been running this for a couple of days. No one's taken me up on this offer. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to test out another offer. And I'm going to keep testing different products to try and find the right bundle that I can sell people so that I can increase my average order volume. And how do we do that? Well, we can go to one click upsell. We go to one click upsell. This is when I'm trying to scale a brand, this is my favorite tool. I'm in here nearly every day. I'm looking at my statistics and I'm trying to figure out, I focus on different things. Like I focus on the product widget. Are these the right buy box products to add? And you can see here, well, we've only had 8 views, so it's probably too early to tell because I only just put this up. But what I'll be doing is some split testing. So we can do an A/B test for the different products. And we can split test that over time. So if I add my new pen, I think I got a new pen in here. What's my pen called? Let's go find my pen. My electric diamond painting pen. I'm going to add this on as a product here. I was meaning to do this anyway after the stream, so I may as well do it now while you guys are watching. This is a 50-50 split, or it will be in a second. I'm not going to add any oh, I might add a discount here. I'm going to save this. The product's not visible in the store. What do you mean? Oh, it's not the same one. Let's choose a different product. That's the one. Save that. And just going back to here. Oh, we had a price update. I didn't select yes. Oh, I can't see the pop-up now. That's a shame. I can't see the pop-up. Because the text that you use on the pop-up is really, really important too. We need to have a sense of urgency. We need to have a reason to buy this too. So it's up to us to craft this. Why not add this to your cart. Now, this isn't the best text. This is just off the cuff. What is this going to do? What benefit is they going to get by adding this to the cart? Pick up. Oh, I've got an EM dash there. Only on one product though. Only one time. Don't judge. Oh dear God. In my defense, I didn't write any of this. One of my team members did. Okay, so I won't actually use any of this text. I'll be changing this all up. So I'll be wanting to sort of craft an offer here. We've really got to lean into the direct benefit they're going to get from this, and the fact that this is a limited time only offer deal. We want scarcity, and we want pressure to get them to purchase. Now, I don't love these images. So what I'm also going to do in the meantime, because I actually had a different pen that we were selling that was selling really, really well, but we took it offline because even though it was selling well, it wasn't the best product. We had a few complaints. So if I look up electronic diamond painting pen, cancel that. Let's find that. Let's find the old pen. Should be two of them. This one here. And this one sold really, really well. Probably because the text was way better. And the images were really good too. So what I'm going to do is have my team work on... Do I need to work on the images? Oh, these are pretty good too. Oh, that's a nice one. So that's probably the image that I should be using. So we'll go media gallery. Let's pick the best image. Quiet diamond art. What's this one? Oh, I want to do that. I want to actually... There we go. No need for adhesive, convenient and fast. Would that be enough to sell this? I don't know. I think the image needs to be improved. Okay, so that's the benefit is. So we might say add this to your cart. Wait a minute. Sick of using wax. Sick of using wax. Try our new electronic pen. Hopefully this is going to help you guys to sort of help you craft an offer. That's why I'm doing this, by the way. Sick of using wax? Try a new electronic pen. Get 50% off. It depends. It depends. So what I want to do here is a split test between a bundle and a smaller product. Maybe depending on your customer base, maybe it is easier to get a smaller buy-in, and then on the post-purchase, do a much bigger buy-in. Maybe at the post-purchase, that's where you do the bundle. Like, you already purchased the pen, you've already purchased the kit. Do you want the whole thing now? And that might work better because it's been little incremental, what would you call them? Little micro trusts. Little, is that the right word? Trust? A micro commitment. That's what I'm going for. A little micro commitment. So this is electronic, all new electronic diamond painting pen. Okay. I'll change the background of this to be a nice purple to go with my website. Cool. Didn't work. Select. Okay. I'll make this white so it looks good. starting to look pretty. Sick of using wax. Let's get this a little bit bigger and bolder. And let's of course see how this looks. It looks terrible on mobile. Why? Maybe you need to have 2 lines. Always check on mobile. Yeah, that's good. So this might be sick of using wax. Let's make this line a nice big text. Bold. Try a new diamond painting pen. And yes, you can experiment with colors, with fonts, making things pop. Sick of using wax? Try a new diamond painting pen. Now, here's where the offer comes in. We have to think of a compelling offer that still makes me money. So what I might say is get 40% off today. Hey, 7, is dropshipping still a thing in 2025? What do you think I'm doing right now? Of course it's a thing. Get 40% off today only. All right. Special offer ends, and that's a timer. Now, I don't love this image, but you know what? I'll come back later. I'll probably go back and make a better image of this. I'm gonna get Dimas to work his magic, because we can probably do better, I reckon. I'm gonna replace all the images for this product. So all new diamond painting pen. That doesn't fit on one line. So I might have to reduce the there we go. Now this text sucks. I need to explain why people want this in their life. So if you're into diamond painting, one of the things you have to do is you got a tool that you hold in your hands, and you have to dip it into this wax to get the tip of it really, really waxy, so that the tip picks up a diamond and pops into place. And you end up, it ends up a bit messy. You end up with like the wax on your hand, and the wax is all over the diamonds. This new tool that we found here, it uses suction and a motor to pick it up. So we can start to lean into that. Tired of messy wax on your diamonds and hands? Try our new electronic pen. And wax will become a thing of the past. So now we're talking about an actual solution to a problem. Let's see if we can make this a bit smaller. Damn, tired of messy wax. Maybe I can't make this smaller. Could try making that down to 12. There we go. It's a bit small. It's a bit too small. I'm gonna have to go 14. I'll just have to use bold to see if we can highlight some areas here. New electronic diamond painting pen tool. All right. Now we're going to add down here a discount. Is going to be a 40% discount on the product. This product, and all, you should say it's an upgrade to your, yeah. Upgrade to our new electronic pen. That is. Who you been listening to, Jennifer? Where do you come up with that sort of genius? Okay. Now we're talking. Let me check the price point on this though. How much does this thing cost? $49. What's my margin on this? Let's just check the margin. Discard. Columns, we'll go cost per item. So it costs $15 and they're going to be getting it for $30 in this. That's a 2 times margin. You know what? $60. What have I got it for? Yeah, this should be 59. So I'm going to be selling it for that price. My staff could have done a better job of that, I'll tell you that. It should be 4.5 times the cost. $67.50. I'm gonna have to run a job. So no, this is not it's not an extra 40% off. It is just 40% off. So if it's on sale, the code shouldn't be added onto it. It'll just be 40% off. So 40% off $67.75. So 40% off $67 or 47% off of $26. So 67 minus 27 is 40 buckaroos. So that's nearly as 2.5 to 3 times. That's good enough. That'll do well. Now, we're ready to go. I'll probably hide the quantity selector. All right. That's saved. Let's go back to check my thing. Now we have split test 50-50. These are both running. So now I get to, over a longer period of time, figure out which of these is going to be more profitable for me. That's the only thing I'm interested in here, is testing for profitability. As you can see here, I'm actually using the AI recommendation for my post-purchase upsells, and we're doing okay here. So we're making on average an extra, maybe an extra $1. Every single visitor who goes through this, I'm making an extra $1 from them. That's pretty darn good. Can I improve this? Yes. Right now I'm doing the lazy approach. We're using AI to recommend products, and it's not too bad. You can see here that the people who decline the offer, the conversion rate isn't great for them. That's okay. We're still doing well. So what I would do from here is I could A/B test these AI offers and see if I can manually select products from my store that do better. And I've done that in the past. I'll continue doing that because this is where I can make actual profit, rather than if it's $40 per sale on Facebook and my average order volume is like $60-$70. This is the only way that I can actually make more profit and actually scale harder. Abir, you're a student in your country. Any payment methods like PayPal, Stripe, and Wise are not available. How do you receive from clients? You can set up PayPal, Stripe, and Wise in Australia or in the US. And what you can do is you can go and get a bank account in those countries that can actually use Wise. Set up an LLC in Australia or something like that. I can't really give you too much information on how to do that because I don't have experience in doing that from other countries. How does OCU cost per month? I don't remember. It's pretty good, I think. $8 a month plus they take a little bit out of my income. I need to do a lot more work on my OCU for sure. So it's on my list of things that I'm going to be focusing on over the next week. What I like to do is just focus on a couple of areas of the store every week. And so this week will be OCU, next week will be emails, week after that will be landing pages. That's how I do it anyway. That's how I stay sane doing all this. All right. So I want you guys, if you are making profit, but you're not making enough profit, focus on your OCU and testing different ways and different pop-ups, different offers and different bundles, and see if you can find the winning formula to squeeze more out of your people, okay? To show you where I've come from. These are all of the different funnels that I've been testing over the course of the year. Testing one after the other, different ideas after different ideas, just to see if I can squeeze more. The more you can squeeze, the better, because you'll be then able to afford $50. If your average order volume goes from like $50 to $80, all of a sudden you can afford an extra $10-$20 per purchase on Facebook, and you can scale higher. Make sense to you guys? All right, Rhonda. Clear Tuesdays. Ah, what are we asking? I think it's for the collagens, yeah. I'm confused at what I'm looking at. Am I only looking at these ones? Kitty gummies. Okay. Okay, kitty gummies. Ah, that's right. That's right. Let's have a look here. CPM is a little high. Cost per click? Oh, look. Cost per click's a little high because the CPM is high. Your click-through rates are actually really nice. Really, really nice. That looks promising. We haven't spent much. Nadir, you're from Pakistan. You want to go to America? Can I help you? No, I'm sorry. I can't really help you get to America. You're asking how I can continue to test out creatives and move them to the winning campaign without ruining meta. Look, at this stage, you don't really need to worry about ruining meta because you don't have anything scaling. You only really need to worry about disrupting a campaign if you're actually scaling it. You have a lot of test images to test out, and you don't look. When if I have a new product and I just want to test out images, I just throw them all into an event. Like, called me lazy. Yes, I have a lot of accounts that I work on, so I need to do things systematically that don't require a lot of work. So I will, like, yes, you can do this, but I don't have time for this all the time. If I have time to do, one ad set per image, I will do that. But if I just want to do a quick, hard and fast test, I'll literally put an Advantage Plus scaling put an Advantage Plus campaign in, throw all of my images and my ads in, and let it run $50 for a couple of days, and just look at the results and turn off the ads that aren't working. That's the quick way to do it. The slow way to do it is just keep doing what you're doing, which is fine too if you want to do that, and keep duplicating these and adding new images into test. But it looks here like you've probably got some that are gonna work. C6, C5, C4, they look great. So make more ads like them, duplicate those ad sets out, and continue that testing. But don't worry too much about disrupting what's already working, because there's nothing already working. So you can literally just, if you wanted to, throw them all into a campaign and ad set, and just sort of see where the dust settles. Do you know what I mean? How long do you test for? Until you feel like you're confident that they're gonna win. You've tested these ones so far for what, $10 is it? $10? I think test these for another $10. $20 should be enough to have a good inkling whether or not these are going to work. Creative wise, they look really nice. My only bit of feedback is, I mean, you're doing a great job. They're really pretty. And I'm not by any means going to tell you to turn this off. But you see how you've got kitty gummies, 50% off sale ending soon. That's okay. That could work. But what I would do is I'd make another duplicate of this, and I'd say instead of 50% off, and maybe I'd move that to the corner so that you can use this top bit of space here to be like the main thing that this fixes. Have a sweet smelling kitty. Sounds terrible I can't believe I just said that on air, but I don't know. But look what you made me do, Rhonda. I think that is one of the USPs, though, isn't it? Like, have a fresh kitty. And that could be the main thing you see down here, so that you have the benefit right then and there. And that's the kind of things that I would like to test for my images. Be doing the right thing, though. But at this point, don't get caught up with not wanting to do anything that will break your account, because there's not really anything that you can do that's going to break your account if it's not scaling. So get in there, roll up the sleeves, and get messy. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake at this point. It doesn't matter if you're testing things that doesn't quite work out. As long as you know what you're trying to test for, which in this case, you're doing the right thing because you got $10 on these, you're testing these, you're getting good click-throughs. So yeah, You're all good, Rhonda. You're all good. You're doing a good job. Max, new vaults. Okay, one purchase for 135, and one purchase. Oof. Yikes. Not great. Not what we're looking for. Do I automate? Where I can. Of course. Where I can. CTR is not bad. Do I automate my sales? I automate a lot. I don't touch anything on my store if you're asking. So the sales come in, my warehouse gets them, my warehouse deploys them, my support team support. I don't do anything on my store if that's what you're asking. It's completely hands off. Other than ads and you know, making my store convert better, I don't do anything else. So cost per clicks are good. It's interesting here. That's very interesting. The cost per clicks are quite good. The CTR is not bad. Why do they suck so much? What have we spent? Okay, we spent 98, 40, and 40. We've got one ad here which is decent. How do I automate? Well, it's simple, really. I have an app on my store that connects me to my supplier's warehouse, so I don't need to do anything for the orders. They get fulfilled automatically, and my systems send the customers their tracking numbers. My team has been trained on how to do everything for me, so that I don't have to do anything. It's pretty simple. C1. Okay, we've got an image ad here. Tired of awkward bulges in your pockets? Now, okay, so your ads are talking about the bulkiness. And struggling to pull out a card. Okay. All right, so I'm going to say we may have made a mistake, but it could be that I've made a mistake. And the mistake that I may have made is potentially not understanding the ads that you were going to make. But I can tell you right now, you don't have an ads problem. Your ads are good. Your ads are getting clicks for your, like the stats that we need out of these ads. You're getting them. You need to be getting a click-through rate of above 1.5%. You're getting that. You need to be getting a cost per click of under $2. You're getting that easily. You need to be getting a CPM. Anything under 50 is manageable, and yours is well in that at $36. That's not a bad CPM. The landing page is not converting. Motiva, you can go back to the start of my stream and you can watch me talk about how much I make. I break it all down per year, if you really want to. And I even showed screenshots year to year that I've been on just one store. So new Vault Ultra Slim RFID wallet protects you from identity theft, instant access to the card you need, minimize the bulk. It's interesting. It's interesting because your website does look better. Let me just check out these stats. I could be wrong here because you've made recent changes, and I have a feeling that maybe it's turned around since. Yeah, almost turned around since then. Now we're down to $74 a purchase. Let's have a look here at your columns because we need to see cart. And we need to see checkout. 2 add to carts, no checkouts. but somehow one order. You got one checkout today? Mate, can you show me? This isn't really matching up. I don't know if we have a tracking issue here, but no checkouts have been initiated and you've had a sale come through. After adding the multi-row with gifts, that's good. That's good. How old am I? I am sadly 44 this year. Yeah, I think it has too, and that's why I'm not sitting here saying we need to redo the site, because you've implemented a lot of nice changes. Can we? I don't think we should change the ads. What I need to see from you is a screenshot of your store, right? If you can go into analytics and show me a screenshot of today, and then show me a screenshot of like the last 3 days. Harsh Winden, how you doing? Nice to see you. You show me the last few days and then today, so I can see the difference. I need to see the add to cart rate, the reach checkout rate, and the conversion rate. If you could pop that into the chat, that would really help me out with figuring out where we can improve this store. But let's just go through. Let me check your store on my phone. You know what? Let's not do that. Let's just do it in the browser. All right, so this is what Facebook people are seeing. They come to your store, they're seeing this. The #1 slim RFID wallet blocking RFID to prevent wireless theft. No, not that. I need to see specifically. This image here, the conversion breakdown. It's under analytics. Just click on the analytics tab there and go show me this customer conversion breakdown. All right, now back to your store. Protects you from identity theft. Instant access. How do I make creatives? How did I make creatives? Well, I got good at them. And how do I make them now? I have a team, my friend. I have a team. It's a good question. So there's a couple of ways that you can improve your own creatives while I'm waiting for this data to come through. You can use Creative OS, which can really help you build good creatives. It's an awesome tool that I used to get better, because you can literally Max. No. Okay, thank you, Max. We've got it here. Creative OS is good because you can take these themes, or I guess these templates, and put them right into Canva and get them done. What I do is, oops, not that. I've got a team. Oh, thanks, ATN. Is there a disconnect between his creatives and his website? His bulky wallet ad and angles get click-throughs, and his website says identity theft. I think you may have nailed it, ATN. I think you may have, and that's my fault because I told him to go down that route. Where am I? So what I do for my creatives is I have my creative designer create all of my creatives for me in Canva, and it's literally right here. There's like 66 creatives here, and this allows me. You can see that one that he just did for my what do you call it? My bundle. This allows me to go through and re-edit the text on these if I want to change the offers. So I found this designer from Upwork. We've been working together. I like what he can do. He's great with AI. He's got this clean style about him, and I only knew that I wanted to work with him after trying a few and not really loving the results. All right, so results here. We've got, yeah, this isn't going to fly, Max. This isn't working. The conversion rate is actually not too bad, but the add to cart rate and the reach checkout rate, something weird is going on with your website and your tracking. I don't think it's your fault. And I don't think this is even true. I don't think you've had 205 clicks. I think that's mostly bot traffic from Facebook coming and checking out your website. But we have a problem with your website. ATN had mentioned that your ads were mentioning the problem of the pockets carrying around a bulky wallet. And I know this is my fault because I mentioned to you that perhaps identity theft was a much better angle to use on your website, and perhaps that angle was wrong. Perhaps if you're getting good clicks, and this is just perhaps because everything we do is testing. We make assumptions, we test if they're true, and if they're not, we make another assumption and we test if that is true. So the assumption that I made that perhaps you should be leaning into identity theft and RFID, that could be incorrect, because what I'm seeing here is good click-throughs on your ads, good cost per clicks, and people who like this ad here talking about bulkiness. So what I want you to do, Max, is not redo your whole landing page, but just retool it to not focus on the identity theft, but to focus on the bulky wallets, because I'm not seeing much of that. The GIFs that you have here are okay, but their quality is a little bit poor in terms of the what do you call this? The graininess. So we might need to actually regenerate some of these to make them look better, because they don't look like a premium wallet. Now, I love your thing and like your intro, and you got your H1 and you got your text. Brilliant. What I do prefer having a capital letter on each of these. That's just a my thing. I just think headings should have that. But I liked where you're going with this. So what I would do if I were you, keep your ads on, but get in here and retool this for bulky products and see if that helps. Could he duplicate the page and split test? I don't think there's any point, because the evidence that we have is quite clear. The evidence is saying good click-throughs here. So this angle is working, and then the disconnect is happening here because it's a different angle. I wouldn't bother split testing at this point because we haven't really got anything worth saving yet. I'd only be doing split testing if I was getting decent results and I wanted to get better results. Until then, it's like making an omelet. You gotta make a bit of a mess to make a good omelet, right? You gotta crack a couple of eggs. Max, I do want to say great work though. That's one of the most significant updates to a website that I've seen. You did a great job. You took my feedback and you made it better than I thought you would. Well done. All right, Kelly. Thermo blanket, trying to focus on weight loss. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, for those of you who need to catch up, Kelly had showed me this website a few times before. This was the heading, which I thought was a great heading. But as we were going down the page further and further, we got further away from weight loss and more about everything else this product can do. Conqueror, where would I recommend start informing yourself about e-commerce? And look, mate, easy. Go to where I work. I work for Freedom Club, freedomclub.com. You can sign up for free. You can come in here. You can start the lessons. And if you're quick, like if you're really quick at getting through the lessons, you can have a store launched within 30 days. If you like what we do and you want access to more coaches like me and do the whole program, you can decide if you want to pay, but just get in there and learn as much as you can. It's free to start. All right, so the sauna blanket for weight loss, stress relief, and self-care. So I do like these, but I do find it's always better to focus on one particular problem. I know that it does stress relief and self-care. If this were my page, I'd be focusing on weight loss only. And yes, I'd probably say that in fact, stress relief and self-care are too broad of a term for me to even be interested in saying that they do it, unless it's something for like diamond paintings, which is a bit of a stress relief or something like that. For an actual product that solves problems, I don't think stress relief is a big enough problem to solve weight loss, or in comparison to weight loss, which is a great problem to solve. So my advice, drop this bit. Okay. Slim down naturally without the effort. Burn up to 600 calories. Reduce bloating. Feel lighter, calmer, and more energized in 40 minutes. Beautiful. Fantastic. No pills, no appointments, just 40 minutes to burn calories, bloat, beat bloat and feel better. Oh, excuse my hiccups, guys. Perfect. Hello, Fahad. Tired of feeling bloated, burnt out. You've tried everything, but the weight won't budge. Beautiful. It's not just calories, it's cortisol. Fantastic. Fantastic. You know, you've told me that I'm stressed and my stress is making me fat. And I feel awful and more stressed and I'm getting fatter. That's great. Melt fat, sleep deep and feel alive. Yes. Burn calories, lower cortisol. Yes. How it works, why you can believe it. Oh, man, awesome. Simple to use. Okay. All right. If we're going to be able to sell this product for this angle, then your landing page is perfect. Jennifer, am I able to do store review ad results without showing them on the stream? It's tricky. I mean, I do have some students, well, not just students, but I do have a bunch of people who ask me to do it on the side as part of my Upwork, because it's difficult for me to carve out time during the day to do it for everybody else. I'm happy to do it on the stream. I don't want to do it where I'm not showing people what I'm doing because it's kind of pointless. But I understand what you're saying. And if you don't want it on the stream, I would probably suggest give it to Jimmy, and Jimmy can probably do, like, he's been doing this for a while. He's probably, I don't want to say he's better than me, but he's very good at it. So yes, great job. I can't wait to see. You're still waiting for your ads to arrive. I can't wait to see how that goes. I think you're on the money now, Kelly. Anil, store review for Snugwell. Fahad, you're thinking about adding section for 3 videos under the add to cart button. Is that good? Probably not directly under the add to cart button, but somewhere under it is pretty good. Whoa, what am I looking at? Perspective. Cool image though. Got my attention. I thought I had to close this tab down real quick. The people you work for at the Freedom Club, did you learn from them? No. I joined the Freedom Club as a coach because everything that they teach, I felt it aligned with how I run my businesses and everything that I do. So I was impressed with their content and agreed to become a coach for them. That's how it worked out. I wouldn't be coaching for them if I didn't agree with what they were teaching. And look, there's a couple of little tiny things that I don't disagree with, but I think I prefer a different method or a different way of doing things. But honestly, they're such trivial little things that it's not even worth mentioning. I think the Freedom Club course is fantastic. So the #1 therapeutic pillow for back, hips, and sciatica relief. Snugwell, improve sleep posture, support spinal. Yeah, great. Great product images. Are these ChatGPT, some of these? Because they look great. Okay. I like this section here. I really don't like this. This formatting is bad. When we're going to be doing this, I understand what you're trying to achieve. You're almost there. Probably go and use the app on Shopify called Section app, and you can buy a nice left, right, right, left, left, right kind of formatted Duvalaki. It's very, very cheap, and it will fix this formatting problem. But everything, like content-wise, you got this. Content-wise, it's great. There's a few little spacing issues here to fix. And I think once you've fixed those problems, then I think you're going to have a great landing page here, and I can't wait to see your results. Good job, Hanil. Let's get that cleaned up before you launch, though. Shannon. Look, Remy. When I started, did I start with trial? Yeah, I guess you could say I started with trial and error. I followed. This is back in 2015, 16. It was a very different market. there weren't that many people to tell you how to run a Shopify store. We really did have to try and fail. I ended up signing up with these guys called Build, Scale, Grow. I think I spent like $5,000 on my membership with these guys. These guys back then, they were the first, what do you call it? Like Shopify mentorship thing that was out there. And I got stacks and stacks and stacks of workflows and fundamentals and email flows and landing page, your conversion ideas and things to do from these guys. And honestly, most of what I teach you guys, most of it is like variations of what I've learned from these guys and then just sort of molded and shaped over time. In any investment you make into your education is a good investment. Even if you only learn a few golden nuggets and it costs you a bunch, you've still learned something. You still learned something. But these guys are great. I think the Freedom Club is probably what I would recommend right now. The step-by-step course they have is really good. And obviously you get coaches like myself, like coaches who are actually in it and making money that can help you out. Shannon, is this yours that we're looking at? So you're losing so much money, you need help. Okay, first of all, if you're losing money, stop your ads. Your product is now the healing belt. Okay. Good choice. Freedom Club, I don't know what the price is. It's free to start. You can use it for free for like 30 days or something like that. And that's enough time to get your store launched if you're quick. Then you get through if you just focus in and get through all the content, you will get your store up and running within the first 30 days. And if you like the content, then you can choose to continue with the program. So this is the money you spent. This is the product you're spending money on right now, Shannon. Yeah. Images look okay. For most people, won't notice that they're too AI-ish. They look pretty good. A little bit too wordy, but the wording that you've got, of course, you've got your M dashes in here. They need to go. But you've got a really nice font and a really nice font size. So that's what you got going for you. It is too wordy though, I feel like. So we do want to kind of break it up. Image, text, text, image, image, text. And you could do that. And Neil, would I say this is good? How can you? Yeah, Neil, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. If that's your bundle system, that's pretty good. Okay. You're saying all the right things. But I feel like it's not quite targeted for one specific problem enough. Relax. You got relax in here. What are we doing with this? What is this? It's healing. What is this healing? Ease pain. Sleep deeper naturally. Shannon, who's the major competitor that inspired you for this one? Now, not just a Freedom Club person. Who is the major competitor? take your recovery everywhere with Ready Anywhere. That is good. That is really good. Your go-to portable red light therapy mat designed to deliver power of red light therapy no matter where life takes you. Experience the benefits of red light therapy anywhere, anytime. That's the problem, right? So Hanil, if you want a bundle like that, you can go and install a bundle app called Kashing Bundle. Kashing Bundle. So you see the difference. And anyone who's running a red light therapy belt, that angle there is pretty good, because it's like, yeah, this is the power of red light, but the angle is strong. It's take this anywhere. I love that. And then you see how, like, if you've got a wordy bit of word here, you can hide it in the description tab. So you can have all your words there, but it doesn't destroy your page. Scientifically backed, built for athletes. 30. Look, these are good selling points here. I like that. Why choose this? Your key benefits. And this was just the first competitor that I found off Google. You wanted to focus on sleep. You haven't seen anyone focus on red light therapy. They're just focusing on pain relief. Well, if that was the case, wouldn't you call it the red light sleeping belt? And if that's the case too, maybe or maybe not the belt. The belt, and look, I'm not trying to say that you did anything wrong. I'm just speaking. I'm just like thinking out loud. Maybe the belt isn't the right product for it. Maybe it's like the lamp. It's a terrible website. Terrible website. That's just a blog post. Yeah, like the panels that sit near you but don't touch you. Maybe those are better for sleep. That doesn't mean, just because I'm thinking that though, Shannon, that doesn't mean you shouldn't test your product. What I want you to do though, you see how we're doing research here and we're finding, I'd like to find someone else who is selling red light therapy products for sleep, so that we can let's just do red light, get rid of the belt, red light sleep. Let's go find who's selling this for sleep. What are they selling and how are they pitching it? Because that's the most important thing. How are we pitching? Well, that's cool. Light therapy glasses. That's cool. Not what I'm looking for. Red light sleep bulbs. Oh. Red light therapy products for sleep. No, I think you got a good idea here, Shannon. I think you have a good idea. Because we don't see that many people. We don't see that many people using this product and specifically going, this is for sleep. I don't think it's bad. How do I analyze and see weak points of websites? Experience and just being a stubborn asshole, I think helps a lot. It's much easier for me to tear someone's website apart than for me to make one. Don't get me wrong. I'm not some sort of genius at making websites. I mean, I'm just good at I'm good at figuring out why average people aren't buying. I'm good at understanding dumb people. What does that say about my intelligence? I don't know. God, look at these. These are some sexy ass red light products. I'll tell you that. Damn, great store. This kind of thing may be good for sleep, I think. These are actually the sort of ones I was looking to sell too. Do you think the brand name is throwing it off? What's your brand name again? No, Look Remy's fine. Look Remy's a nice brand name. It's not your problem. I actually think you've hit a really good idea here. Okay, infrared for sleep, make it work. I know we looked at this before, but we didn't see anything in here that showed us what to use. Have a set bedtime. Boost your melatonin. This is actually a really good, I'm going to give you this link. This is a very good link because it's got a lot of things in here that you could use on your landing page. Things like, this was the first discovered. Now, don't copy this word for word. Rewrite this. How NASA uses this. The circadian rhythm, great. This is a gold mine. So perhaps then, if I'm reading this correctly, perhaps it's not necessarily the product itself, but just the pitch and having the information about how to use this for sleep. And then picking a product that's going to be good for people to go to sleep. Maybe you're right. Maybe the belt's going to be good because you can put this somewhere in your body. But we want to have the information here on how to use this to get better sleep. And if this isn't the product to get better sleep and you want to focus on sleep, maybe pick another red light. Like maybe it's one of these freestanding, I know these are very expensive. You can get these elsewhere that are much cheaper, but maybe it's a freestanding globe that you put on your nightstand that helps you sleep. We just got to figure out how to angle this for sleep. Do you know what I'm saying? But no, your brand looks like a medical brand, looks nice. Your website looks nice. There's nothing inherently wrong with this other than it's not really targeted for a specific problem. And that's all you've really got to do is focus on the one problem that you want to sell. The one problem. If you focus on too many problems, it means you don't put enough effort into solving those problems. But if you focus on one problem and you do it well, then people are like, that's the solution for the problem that I want to fix in my life. And if it's sleep, and if you want to sell this particular belt, how does this belt help me go to sleep? The way that this guy is using it on the back, that could be it. He's leaning back on it. He's got the red light all around his neck and all around his face. That's penetrating the skin. It's doing the, like, talk about the science. How is that? What is it doing under the skin to put you to sleep? How did NASA use these things? Maybe it is the belly. Maybe the belly is the best place for this. Maybe that promotes digestion, relaxation, and maybe that puts you to sleep. It's just, we've got to say that properly and focus on that in all of the points. And that way you don't need to redesign the whole thing. Like, this could actually be cool. This could actually work. Images are a bit confusing. Yeah. If you've got one of these, look, just maybe go and look at YouTube and see if there's any influencers on here using red light products to sleep. See how they're using it so that you can come up with the right ways of using this. Maybe even buy it yourself and figure out how you like to use it. What helps you relax? Where does it feel good for you to warm up? And then you can get images redone with ChatGPT. I think you're onto something, Shannon, and it's cool because I've seen some other Freedom Club members selling this exact same product in different ways, and I haven't seen anybody selling it in this way, and that's why I think it might work. It has a good chance of working. And if that angle doesn't work, you can quickly change your page and re-angle it. And re-angling is an easy thing to do. It doesn't take much effort. I find myself re-angling products quite often. We'll go down one angle, didn't work out as good as we wanted, try a different angle, works out much better. All right, guys, that's it from me today. I'm well over my time limit, and I've got to go pick up my kid. So I'll be back on Sunday for product reviews. And until then, I really thank you for watching. If you are watching on YouTube and you did find this beneficial, don't forget to like and subscribe right now before we all hang up the call. That way you'll get notified next time I go live, because I don't post a lot of videos. I do go live 3 times a week, and we do this a lot, and I'd love to have you guys along. So if you did find this useful, don't forget to like and subscribe, because that way too my videos get seen by more people, and the more people I can help, the better, because I'm here to help, guys. You guys are all welcome. Yo Mo, thank you again for showing up, my friend. There's one person I can always count on to be on my YouTubes, it's you. I appreciate that. And eventually, as this grows and we get more people, like that's been a lot of people watching today. That's 13 watches. That's pretty good. As we grow, I'll add more and more features to this channel. We did launch the Discord so that you guys can share your links with me over on YouTube. If you do want me to do a store review for you or help you with your ads, all you have to do is give me the link on Discord. I got it open. I get a message, and I can review your stores for you, because otherwise you can't post your links in YouTube. So that's why that's there. And we'll be adding more and more stuff. We're going to turn this into a little community. And guys, you've all got work to do. So go get your work done and go make some money. I want to see those results pictures. Section, what's the section thing? It's called section app. So go to the YouTube. No, what am I talking about? Go to the Shopify App Store and just look up section app. SECTION, section app. I believe that's what it's called. And I'll see you next time, guys.